Well, it looks, is it percadel?
No,
It's not, okay,
yeah.
all right. And I looked at the maitre d', or the guy that was seating us, and I said, what's that? You know, a lot of music, musicians in my family, and a lot of music fans in my family. By then I spoke some Indonesian.
Right.
So I was thinking, well, maybe I'll go to the Indonesian consulate and ask if they want to hire me.
Hi friends of Indonesia, welcome to our first episode of Diamond, Dialogue of Indonesia, America on Diplomacy. And I'm very happy today to welcome our guest, Ibu N. Stebinger. And as you know, this year we are celebrating the 75th year of Indonesia and the United States bilateral relations. So if you don't mind, we'd like to pick up your brain about your experience with Indonesia and how you start playing gamelan, Bu, and how your experience so far, like playing gamelan and teaching it to Americans here in New York. Yeah. So, friends of Indonesia, Bu N. Stebinger is a gamelan player here in New York. She's teaching gamelan with Kusuma Laras ensemble, right, Bu? Yeah. And if you don't mind, could you just share with us when is the first time that you heard about gamelan?
The first time I heard about gamelan, I think the first time I heard it, I was in Bali, and I went into a restaurant, and I heard this noise, and there weren't any people there, but I heard this noise. You know, almost no people there, but I heard this noise, and I looked at the maitre d', or the guy that was seating us, and I said, "What's that?" And he said, "That's our gamelan." And I said, you know, where is it? And then he pointed to the end of the hall, and I saw all these people playing, and so fast. You know, Balinese music is so fast. I couldn't believe it, and I just walked to the end. You know, I just like stared at it, and then I'd never seen anything like that. And then I went back to him and I said, "Where can I see this music?" And he goes, "We have it every night. Just come here every night." Yeah. So that's when I first heard it. Yeah.
And well, I know. Balinese gamelan, like you said, is faster, much faster, right, than Japanese gamelan. And how do you, I don't know, maybe you could share with us, how do you start learn and playing gamelan after that?
After that, so I needed to do a project for my school. And I was visiting my parents. My father was working in Jakarta for a couple of years, and I needed to do a project for my college. And so, you know, I said to my father, I said, "Well, what should I do a project on?" And he said, "Well, why don't you just do one on, you know, Indonesian music?" Because he'd heard in Hotel Indonesia, You know, in Jakarta,
yeah.
they had a Javanese gamelan there in the foyer that practiced all the time, and he, you know, and he even he'd bought some records, and you know, a lot of musicians in my family, and a lot of music fans in my family. So I was in Bali for a little while, and then I went back to Jakarta, and they had a group at the Lembaga Amerika Indonesia, which is like an institute for friendship between Indonesia and America, I guess. And it was taught by a Dutch ethnomusicologist. There was a you know, a gamelan group there, and they had weekly rehearsals, and I just went there, and I just loved it.
Oh,
so that's how I started. Yeah.
Okay, well, do you mind if I ask when was it?
That was in 1972.
1972.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all. Yeah, but from 1972 to fast forward to now, Bu, how would you describe your journey with gamelan? I mean, how do you start playing in an ensemble, Kusuma Laras, and until now you teach Americans and Indonesians as well to play gamelan here in New York?
Right. Well, that happened because eventually I ended up in Central Java studying music for a couple of years, and then I'm from the New York area, but I moved back to New York City, and I was looking for a job. And so, by then I spoke some Indonesian.
Right.
So I was thinking, well, maybe I'll go to the Indonesian consulate and ask if they want to hire me.
Oh, wow.
So in 1982, so I came here and I just walked in and I just asked them at the front door, and they said, well, you know, why do you know about Indonesia? And I said, well, I was just studying gamelan there for a couple of years. And they said, oh, in that case, you have to go to our cultural director.
Right.
So I met this man, Pak Amin Rianom. Yeah, was his name, and he said, you know, find another job. Don't work here. You don't want to work here. He said, but we have all these gamelan instruments, and nobody ever uses them. And why don't you start a group? And so I thought, well, you know, who would the group be for it? And he said, well, Ibu-Ibu Kita. How do you say that in English?
Ibu-Ibu.
He said, sort of our women's group.
Oh,
yeah.
I think it's DWP. I think Dharma Wanita Persatuan. Yeah, that's the organization name.
Right.
Here,
yeah. So you know, so I thought, okay, so you know, I was, you know, so that's what I did.
Okay.
So I contacted some friends, and we just got a group together. Yeah, and that was in 1983.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So that's when our group started. Was 41 years ago.
41 years ago, yeah. And it's been amazing. I've been here for over a year now, and I saw Kusuma Laras concert in December. So I think every year Kusuma Laras has a concert here in the Consulate General, and it's Klenengan. It's called Klenengan, right? Yeah. So even for me, I'm Indonesian, and I was born and raised in Jakarta. I've never heard of Klenengan before, Bu. So Klenengan was it was the first time that I heard about Klenengan here in New York, and it was amazing. I mean, the company. I mean, Kusuma Laras played. I don't know. It's beautiful music, and for me, who's never heard of a set of gamelan music, it's really, really amazing, and we appreciate you for bringing gamelan here in New York.
Well, we have an amazing teacher. That's Pak Archito.
Yeah,
and he comes down twice a month. From Wesleyan University in Connecticut, so you know, sometimes it takes him 2 hours, sometimes it takes him 4 hours, but he is really determined,
right? And
he's coming tonight, in fact.
Oh yeah.
And so he was there, so that really makes it special. And also we had an amazing drummer, an old friend of mine and of his from Java, is married to an American. So he was in the States at that time. So he's also incredible. So we just had two amazing Javanese, Indonesian guys playing with us, which helped a lot. Trust me.
Yeah. And I think Kusuma Laras also has expanded. I think this year I heard that you open another class for beginners, right, Wu?
Yeah.
And could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I've never been to it because I come on Friday nights and I live during the week. I live upstate,
Right.
But on Wednesday, John Ray. So Pa Arjito is our artistic director, and John Ray and I are the co-directors. So he teaches a class on Wednesday night.
Right.
And it's a beginning class, but I think they're getting pretty good. They're doing harder and harder pieces.
Yeah.
And I think he's drawn a lot of people from the Indonesian American community in New York City.
I think like there are more than 10, I think like about 20 people coming in the first time.
Really? Oh, yeah. I haven't been, but I've heard it's great, you know. So
so it's great to see Kusuma Laras expand this year. Hopefully more people, I mean American here in New York, know more about gamelan, right? And so Bu, please, this is corn fritter. We call it gorengan. Maybe, I don't know, when you were in Indonesia, did you eat a lot of gorengan?
Well, it looks, is it perkedel?
No,
it's not. Okay,
yeah.
all right. Well, I'm not very good at the names of food.
Yeah.
It looks, to me, it looks like perkedel.
But
it looks really interesting.
Yeah, please.
Well, are you going to have some?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
I think it would be rude for me to just have one without you having one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
thanks.
And gorengan not the most healthiest food of all, but it's really good. At least.
Great.
Right? And speak of food, Bu, if we have a little bit trivia for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say one word, and maybe you could like say what's the first thing run into your brain when I say it, right?
Okay.
So, Borobudur.
Buddha.
How about Jakarta?
Sinking.
And okay, so this is the last word. Kebaya.
Itchy.
Itchy. Thank you. But yeah, how? Okay, yeah, I can relate to that. Right? Because I don't know. These days they're using I don't know, some kind of organza fabric like lace.
Oh, really?
Kind of thing.
That's a big improvement.
Right? But I don't know. Oh, it's quite itchy. So yeah, I can relate to it.
Yeah, especially if you're in Java and you're sweating and you're at a performance. Oh, it's torture.
Oh right, yeah. You have to wear kebaya every time you perform gamelan in Indonesia, or
well, I just wear a batik shirt actually,
yeah, it's more
and black
comfortable.
pants. Yeah.
Yeah,
I used to, when
choice.
I first went there. When I first went there, I had to wear a kebaya. That's why I know it's itchy. But
and sanggul too.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I had to go to a salon and get the whole sanggul, and then I had to wrap my kain, but I don't know how to do that. So I was at a like a boarding house, and so my roommates did it, but they didn't know how to do it either. So it fell off.
Oh wow.
So, yeah. So I mean,
Okay.
it's like it's a whole traumatic experience.
Right, yeah. I mean, even for us, I mean, for me, wearing traditional clothes is a hassle as well. But yeah, once you wear it and then you feel, I don't know, I feel pretty if I wear kain and kebaya. I don't know about you, Bu, but I hope you too.
Yeah. They are pretty. That's true.
But not comfortable.
Right.
Okay, thank you, Bu. This is bandrek. I don't know if you had one when you were in Indonesia.
I've never even heard.
So it's a ginger. It has cinnamon in it. I hope you like it. And it's okay.
Oh, tastes great.
You like it?
Yeah.
Great, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So thank you so much, Bu Ann, for your time and for sharing with us what you've been experienced, and your story about gamelan has really been inspiring, especially I think for all Indonesians out there who's never played gamelan before. So yeah, if you're in New York, maybe you can come by at the Consulate General of Indonesia in New York. Here every Wednesday, Kusuma Laras has a class for beginners. So yeah, we'll see.
And
We'll
also,
see
and
there,
then
yeah.
we also have a Pak Arjito comes on Fridays at 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There are 2 sessions of gamelan sessions here in the Consul General. So yeah, try and come by. Bye bye. Thank you, Bu.